So we have started with working on some problems which are not very obvious, and we skipped some very simple parts, and we started for finding out the things for line charge. We directly jumped to line charge. Now we are talking about surface charge. Is it right? So what was the question assigned to you? Anybody finished? What is the answer? Be quick. What was the problem assigned last time? That if I have got a plate, a copper plate of side L having net charge plus Q, find out the electric field intensity at a distance R from the center of the plate. From the center of the plate is important. If it is not from the center of the plate, it will become asymmetric. Is it right? And again, we are not expected to spend entire time and just have very rigorous calculation. That is not the purpose. The theme should be very clear. So right now, if you presume this is a square plate, just presume all sides are equal. So at the center, so let this be X, Y, and Z is in this direction. Right? So if I am here at the center of the plate, how I will proceed in this direction, in this way right now? What would be the method for, you should get the method. Number one, by common sense, at the center of the plate, at a distance, I am at the center. So by symmetry what will happen? By symmetry what will happen? The net electric field will be in which direction? Means this entire plate contains a charge plus Q. Every point on this plate is positively charged. So the electric field experienced here will be in which direction? From this, in this direction. From this point, so from various points, electric field will be in various directions. But since I am at the center of the plate, because of symmetry, by common sense what you find? That for every point there is an anti-symmetric point. So the infinitesimally small electric field components, their X and Y components will cancel out each other, and there would be net Ez only. Ez, and that will be minus. Why? Because X-axis, Y-axis, Z is in this direction, so the net will be minus Az. So that minus you remember and forget. So we add at the end. Okay. So how will you calculate it now? We want final answer. Derive the expression for electric field intensity at a point R, at a point from a square plate, from this, at a point perpendicular to the plate at distance R from the center of the plate. So take any general point. Take any, not point. So total charge is plus Q. What is total area? L square. So Q upon L square is surface charge density rho S. Q upon L square is surface charge density rho S. Now if we take a small square at an arbitrary point, if I take a small square at an arbitrary point, if this is origin, this is X distance, this is Y distance, X distance, Y distance. Then let this length be delta X, let this length be delta Y. we can presume आपण असं म्हणत नसतात dx dy because काय म्हणत नसतात असं that doesn't dx delta x is having independent existence and dx is not. So what is dy by dx? It is a ratio of delta y upon delta x as delta x tends to 0 in general. But I need not be so much scientific. आपल्या कुठं त्या ऑक्सफोर्ड सोसायटी पेपर लिहायचं नाही आहे. So dx dy are the dimensions of that small square. So what would be the charge on this small square? Charge would be किती येईल? Rho s into area. What is area? Dx dy. Agreed? So rho s dx dy. When dx and dy are sufficiently small, then for this point, when you are sufficiently away, the small square dx dy can be said to be as good as a point, right? So what I can say, at this point I can say that it is experiencing electric field because of this point charge of value rho s dx dy. So the small point charge at distance x and y will contribute to delta E at this point. What that would be? Delta E would be? Delta E would be rho s dx dy upon 4 pi epsilon naught and distance square. What is distance? What is distance now? Not r. Small r I have given as perpendicular distance. The distance of this point from this point under root of this r square plus this square which is x square plus y square. Right? So the distance r is r square plus distance square is this. Do you agree? That is which distance? If I am here, this distance. This square is equal to this square plus this square. This square is equal to this square plus this square. So this is net electric field delta E because of this point. In which direction? In some direction. So what I will do, by common sense I have said that because of symmetry, x, y component will cancel. So what is z component of this? Delta E z. Delta E into if I am here, this distance into this distance is there, delta E into this distance upon this distance. So what is this? Delta E z is equal to delta E into r upon is it right? And it will be negative. Negative we don't forget. Why? Because just x, y and negative positive x, y and 0 anyway. It is positive only. So right-handed screw. Right-handed screw is so that negative doesn't question. So x axis, y axis and z axis anyway coming out. So that negative you forget. Anyway you must not remember. So what is delta Ez then? Delta Ez is equal to delta E rho s upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square plus x square plus y square into r upon under root r square plus x square plus y square into dx dy. Is it right? Delta Ez is equal to this. Is it okay? Is it all right? So what is Ez? We should have scored it. So what is Ez? So we will not solve this in the class. In the class when we discuss, we will come to the step after which is exercise. That you would be solving in the tutorial in the afternoon session. So what the answer would be this integrated double integration. What are limits for dx dy? Minus L by 2 is it right? Is okay? Double integration. So finding double integration is not so easy. Those who must have worked rigorously in 12th calculus will find it out at the time of tutorial. Is it right? Is okay? So this, but then finding double integration, so what do you do when you integrate it for y first? That time x you take as constant, x you take as constant and have suitable trigonometric replacement. So this itself is maybe 2 tutorial hour problem if you are at the scratch. Otherwise, what you can do, you have to find out this. Then you can find out, because of, you can convert one hint I am providing. So you can start with that part for tutorial. So what we did, we took the square and we started by assuming a small point charge. So we double integrated a point to a surface. So what is the alternative method? What is the alternative method? In the last lecture, what we have found out, if you are, and at least for this time, I want that for this subject you write in continuation. जे एकच वही घाला किंवा 10 वह्या घाला. मागच्या लेक्चरला जे आहे ते पुढच्या लेक्चरला, आणि त्याचा गुगल क्लासरूम करून त्यामध्ये मागच्या लेक्चरला कुठे आलोय, टर्म जे आयसी आहे त्याचा हा पण कंपोनंट असेल, मागच्या लेक्चर कुठे आलोय तिथं आणि आजची तारीख ते कंटिन्यूशन आहे का नाही त्याचा व्हॉट्सअपला त्याचा फोटो काढून पाठवायचा. वर्गात वही जे लिहितो आपण, लक्षात आलं का, ओळीनं पाहिजे प्रत्येक घेतलं, नाही तर आजचं पुढचं आणि 5 पाहिजे नंतर ओळी सापडणार नाही पाहिजे. सो वेर वेलकम लास्ट टाइम for line charge. So the plus Q charge on a square of side L, you can assume it to be line charge. Plus Q charge on a square of side L, we used Coulomb's law, and we took a infinitesimally small square instead of that, how can we proceed? You can take it to be, you can take an infinitesimally small strip, right? That strip, you are taking vertical strip. So let the width be delta x, or you can say dx also, right? A small vertical strip of length width dx. What will be its length? L. So how much line charge it will carry? How much total charge it will carry? How much total charge it will carry? Q into delta x
into L divided by L.
Right? Total is Q, total length is L, this length is delta x, dx, or so this you can resolve it by this small dx. Total charge Q, total charge carried by entire plate is Q, of that strip is of width dx, total width L. So Q dx upon L will be total charge on the line. So what is rho L? Rho L, linear charge density. Rho L is Q dx upon L. So rho L would be rho L would be
Q dx by L.
Idil Q dx upon L square, right? Linear charge density Q dx upon L square. So because of this, last time we have derived the formula. So the net electric field here, because of this line charge, would be somewhat. Because of, and it would be from plus L by 2 to minus L by 2. So infinite number of small lines will give you the charge, right? You will give you the net field. Is it okay? Now, a very complex problem of surface charge. There is a surface charge on an infinite plane with surface charge density rho s. मागचे इन्फाइनाइट लाइन इन्फाइनाइट केले. What is that for line infinite? एक दिए थे, एक आपण x चुकलं तर
Rho L upon
so if I have got an infinite line with carrying charge with linear charge density rho L, if I am at a distance r from it, what is the electric field E?
Rho L upon
E is equal to rho L upon
2 pi epsilon naught
2
pi epsilon
pi.
naught epsilon naught R
Is it right? And the direction is away.
away.
If this y-axis and if the point is in xy plane, the direction will be x. Is it clear?
Yes.
So what is electric field E? It is actually E bar and some direction. So I think that sometimes writing that makes it confusing. We understand it appropriately. So electric field E at a point of perpendicular distance r from an infinite line carrying uniform electric charge rho L is rho L upon 2 pi epsilon naught r, right? Rho L upon 2 pi epsilon naught r. So it is inversely proportional to R now. As you go away, field will be reduced. Right? So now, suppose if this plane is containing so the question is, an infinite plane contains electric charge, an infinite plane contains electric charge with uniform surface charge density of rho s. Calculate electric field at a point r, distance r away from the plane. What is the answer? You got the answer? You got a question first. Infinitely, not long, infinite plane. An infinite plane is carrying uniform electric charge with uniform surface charge density of rho s. An infinite plane having uniform electric charge density rho s, what would be the electric field E at a distance, at a perpendicular distance r away from it? How will you calculate? So I said alternative method use here. So infinite plane, let this be infinite plane. So I am here at distance r. I am at distance r. So let I take a strip dx. Let us strip dx I take, choose. So what would be the rho L? What will be rho L? If rho s is the surface charge density, what would be linear charge density rho L on this? Idil? Means electric field here, because of infinite plane, will be electric field here because of a plane is taken to be prepared of small lines. Infinite points of infinitesimal width lead to a line. Line doesn't have width. Infinite lines of infinitesimal width lead to a plane. So what will happen? What will be rho L? If width is dx and surface charge is rho s. Rho s what is linear charge density? The charge is uniform. Linear charge density is charge carried by unit length of that line. What is rho L? Rho L is the charge per unit length. Rho S is charge per unit area. So if you choose unit length of what is width? Dx. So what is area of the strip having length 1 and width dx? Dx. What charge it will carry? एरिया कितनी? dx. हाँ, क्वेश्चन का एरिया है plane carrying charge with uniform surface charge density rho s. What is rho s? Charge per unit area. हाँ एरिया कितनी है? dx. तो चार्ज कितनी? rho s dx. That I can now you calculate b here. This is origin. This is distance x. You are at distance r. Now again by common sense, what would be electric field, direction of electric field? This direction. Because of something other, this one. Because something other, this one. So it is very obvious that if I choose lines like this, then for one segment on this side, there is an anti-symmetric segment on the other side. So that will, if this is the direction, there will be some similar segment having this direction. So there, which components will cancel? What are the components? Something in x direction, something in z direction. So x component will cancel and only z components will be there. So what is z component? What is total electric field delta E? There will be some delta E at this point. There will be some delta E because of line at distance x, and its z component will be delta E into what is this distance r, and this distance root r square by x square. So delta Ez is equal to, or we can directly say d, I hope dE, or you can use delta, no problem. For this you use delta. Delta E into this distance r upon under root r square plus x square. Right? Is it okay? What is delta E? What is delta E? Use this formula. So what is delta E now? What is rho L? Rho S dx upon 2 pi epsilon naught, not r. R right now is r till this is r. From this line
under root r square plus
x square. Is it right? Rho s dx upon this. There is delta E. What is delta E z? Delta E rho s. This you can use dx, or you should use delta. Actually, to be very precise, I hope that this much scientific accuracy is not needed right now. So delta Ez is equal to rho s dx upon 4 pi 2 pi epsilon naught r square plus x square into r upon, is it right? So that comes out to be delta Ez is equal to rho s dx upon into r upon 2 pi epsilon naught. Is it right? So I will use it as d. So what is Ez? Rho s, r comes out, right? Because r is constant. 2 pi epsilon naught into dx upon r square plus x square integrated. What is it? What are limits for x? limits for x are minus infinity to infinity. Is it right? So what is the answer then for the next? How do we move ahead? Is the integration देगा 1 upon r square plus x square dx upon r square plus x square. You substitute by x equal to r tan theta. So x is equal to r tan theta. Dx is equal to r sec square theta d theta. Right? What are limits of theta? As x becomes r, when I am here, as x tends to infinity, this tends to 90. Minus pi by 2, pi by 2, right? So, what we can write? Ez is equal to rho s r upon 2 pi epsilon naught minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 dx is equal to r sec square theta d theta upon here r square plus r square. Is it right? We solve it till the end. So Ez is equal to rho s r upon 2 pi epsilon naught. This r comes out. This r I will bring out, right? So here sec square theta upon r square into bracket 1 plus tan square theta, right? Into d theta. Is it right? So this r square comes out again and get cancelled. So what is the final answer? Ez is equal to rho s upon 2 pi epsilon naught. This r square got cancelled, right? Because this is independent, it comes out. And 1 plus tan square is against x square. Limits are minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So limits are minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. 1 plus tan square is x square, so get cancelled, and only what remains is d theta. What is the final answer? So this is pi, right? That pi gets cancelled. What is the direction? Z. It is Ez, right? So Ez is equal to, so do you see something which is surprising? Do you see something surprising here? What are the questions? Attendance kya hai? Attendance? Not done. How come? So people will blame you because it should start from you. So what is the surprising thing? Have you noticed? We started with what? What was the question? What was the question? Find out electric field intensity because of infinite surface charge having surface charge, uniform surface charge density rho s at a distance r from the plane. So what happens? So from this plane, if this is positive plane having infinite plane carrying uniform charge density, total charge infinite. Total charge infinite. So electric field here Here, same. At infinite distance, means you are moving away, but still electric field remains same. What is the direction? Perpendicularly, in perpendicular direction from the plane on this side. So wherever you go, same. Even if you are very near, same. How means something which is, if you are sensible, in the sense that what is the indicate? What is the indicator of sensibility? That when we find the answer, we are not robots, we are human beings. So we have a common sense. So, or rather than common sense, what would be the better word? Intuition. There is a surface charge. I am supposed to find the electric field at some distance away from it. So normally, since what you are doing, you are writing some notes, or writing this, very nice. Which means what happens is that in a pool of donkeys, horse is getting food donkey असं होते. कोणी लिहित नाही, तुम्ही काय ते लिहिताय, ते लिहिताय असं वाटते की दुसरं काय ते लिहिताय. Anyway, leave it. म्हणजे तर आता बाकीचे काय लिहून घेत नाहीत, मग ते काय म्हणतील, नाही नाही समजा इफ यू आय से दॅट शी इज सिन्सिअर, बाकीचे काय म्हणतील, आम्ही पण सिन्सिअर आहोत, पण आम्ही काय ऐकण्यात जास्त लक्ष देतो आणि हे जे लिहिलेलं आहे ते आम्ही व्हिडिओवर बघणार आहे पुन्हा. Okay, so now what is my intuition? Coulomb's law says that electric field is inversely proportional to square of distance. Coulomb's law मध्ये r square आलं, लाईनच्या यामध्ये काय आलं, r आलं, म्हणजे ऍटलीस्ट कंटिन्युअस आहे तर इनवर्स तरी तो मेंटेन्ड आहे. एनिवे बोथ आर, वी कॅन कंबाईन बोथ अटेंडन्स. सो इनवर्स प्रोपोर्शनॅलिटी वॉज मेंटेन्ड, बट फॉर सरफेस व्हॉट हॅपन्ड, दॅट r हॅज डिसअपिअर्ड. दिस इज सम, म्हणजे हे आता हे मी काय सांगतोय, तर हे उत्तर बघितल्यानंतर तुम्हाला काय वाटायला पाहिजे होते मी सांगतोय, तुम्हाला वाटलं का नाही वेगळाच भाग. सो दिस इज समथिंग which is going against intuition, that a plane is having effect throughout same. हे कसं काय? What? So now when it is just like say commentators on television, when some happening, especially socio-political economical developments do, and now there is a budget. So some socio-political economic developments take place. What the commentators do? Something which happens, which is totally against the intuition or prediction. Once it happens, it is the reality. So what they try to do then? What you are doing? What she is doing? Look here. So what they try to do? What the analysts try to do then? What is the question? Some happening takes place. Say political analysts, social analysts, economic analysts. So some socio-political development, economic development take place. Say budget. So the analyst is having some expectations, not exactly, but some common line. If something which completely shakes his expectation, goes against his intuition, he gets momentarily shocked. But he realizes, because whatever he might have thought, the reality is that it has happened. Then what he tries to do immediately, if he is smart enough, what he is trying to do? He then, त्याचा जो धक्का बसला असतो, तो धक्क्यातनं लगेच वर येतो आणि काय करतो? काय करेल तो? की जे तुम्ही केलं पाहिजे, अभ्यास केला पाहिजे. हा म्हणजे अभ्यास हे कुठल्याच प्रश्न उत्तर काढू शकत नाही, कारण ते अज्युम्डच आहे. ते वेगळं, म्हणजे अभ्यास हे उत्तर असण्याकरता प्रश्न विचारायची गरज नाही. So what he tries to do, immediately he tries to not analyze. You being honest, you say analyze. He is smart enough. So can you make it more towards what he does? He tries to, something happens which is exactly contrary to his intuition. Then he tries his all level best. जे काही तो शिकलेला आहे, तो विचार करू शकतो, ते सगळं तो पणाला लावतो आणि काय करतो? जे घडलेलं आहे ते त्याच्या, तुम्ही काय करायला आहे पुढे बघा, ते त्याच्या अपेक्षांच्या पूर्ण विपरीत घडलेलं आहे. पण काही क्षण तो भांबावतो आणि इमिजिएटली तो वर येतो आणि काय करतो? जे घडलेलं आहे ते, त्याचं काम काय आहे? ऑडियन्सला सांगायचं आहे. म्हणजे मला हे असं वाटलं नव्हतं हे सांगून ऑडियन्सला त्यात फार इंटरेस्ट नाही आहे. त्याला काय वाटत होत्या? ऑडियन्सला काय इंटरेस्ट आहे? जे घडलेलं इंटरेस्ट आहे. मग त्यानं काय करतो? तो काय करतो? तर काय करतो? नाही, जे घडलंय बरोबर नाही, बरोबर तो आता कसा विषय आहे, ते घडलं, ती वस्तुस्थिती आहे, ती नाकारणे किंवा प्रश्न येत नाही आता. तर ते कसं घडलं किंवा त्याच्या मागची कारणीभूत काय असेल हे तो जस्टिफाय करायचा प्रयत्न करतो. लक्षात आलं? म्हणजे आता माझी अपेक्षा काय होती, इथं आर कुठं तरी येणार आहे, म्हणजे तुमची होती का माहित नाही मला. म्हणजे डिनॉमिनेटर मध्ये जे इझेड, कॉमन सेन्स, इझेड इकडे असेल कॉमन सेन्स होता, त्यात काही, त्याला काही धक्का पोचलेला नाही. इथं प्लेन आहे, इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड या साईडला आहे, परपेंडिक्युलर आहे, असणार आहे, हे पण कळत होतं. पण त्या एक्सप्रेशन मध्ये कुठं तरी डिनॉमिनेटर मध्ये आर असेल, आर स्क्वेअर नसेल, आर नसेल, ऍटलीस्ट रूट आर तरी कुठं तरी आर असेल अशी अपेक्षा होती. तो आर पूर्ण निघून गेला, इंडिपेंडंट ऑफ आर झालंय. मग एवढं कसं काय? मग त्याचं कसं तुम्ही जस्टिफाय करणार? मग आता तुम्ही आपल्या विपरीत घडलं, आता कसं ते बरोबर आहे याचा विचार करायचा. कसं असेल? लांब गेलो आणि जवळ असलो तरी कसं असणार आहे? लांब गेलो, मल्टिपल पॉइंट्स वरच येणार ना. इथं जे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड आहे, द प्लेन कंटेन इन्फाइनाइट पॉइंट्स. इथं पण म्हणजे फॉर ए पॉइंट हिअर इन्फाइनाइट पॉइंट्स आहेत, फॉर ए पॉइंट हे इन्फाइनाइट पॉइंट्स आहेत. मी खूप लांब आहे, तर काय असणार? इन्फाइनाइट पॉइंट मुळे एका पॉइंट वरचं कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन कमी होणार, जास्त होणार. when I'm near the plane, म्हणजे मी जेव्हा जवळ आहे तेव्हा माझ्यापासून प्लेन मधल्या प्रत्येक पॉइंटचं अंतर हे कमीच आहे. when I'm here there is infinite points, but still I can have one correspondence. I'm here. So for every point on that plane there is line joining this, there is line joining this, right? And in any case this distance is more than this distance, so total electric field here will always be less. Contribution of a point in electric field here will be less and here will be more, but still in formula I get say then what makes it, what cancels it. म्हणजे जेव्हा मी त्या प्लेन पासून लांब आहे, प्लेन पासून लांब म्हणजे प्लेन पासून 1 मीटर अंतरावर मी जेव्हा आहे आणि 10 मीटर अंतरावर जेव्हा आहे, तेव्हा प्लेन मधल्या प्रत्येक पॉइंटचं 1 मीटर अंतरावरचे पॉइंट सोबतचं अंतर कमी आहे आणि ते जास्त आहे. मग असं असून देखील फायनल आन्सर मध्ये का जात कुठं, व्हॉट कॅन्सल्स इट आउट, व्हॉट कॅन्सल्स इफेक्ट, व्हॉट कॅन्सल्स इफेक्ट. मी अगदी जवळ आहे, इथं तो खूप जवळ आहे ना. इफेक्ट कशावर कॅन्सल होतो? when I am near, every point on the plane contributes in more electric field when I am near. When I am far, every point on the plane contributes in less electric field. But काय कसं when I am near, look at the, now I will give you hint, म्हणजे hint द्यायची थेट देणार नाही मी आता. So this action should give act as a hint. काय होईल? When I am away, what is Z component? Z component is this distance upon this distance. When I am very near, what happens? That Z, the ratio, when I am here, this distance upon this distance is less. And when I am here, this distance upon this distance is more. म्हणजे मी जसं लांब जातोय तसं प्रत्येक पॉइंट वरचं कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन कमी होतंय, पण त्याला जो झेड कंपोनंट जो मल्टिप्लायर आहे, म्हणजे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड ई नेट कमी आहे पण मल्टिप्लायर वाढतोय. इथं मल्टिप्लायर किती आहे? दिस अपॉन दिस. इथं असा. सो दॅट net E reduces but EZ remains same. आणि याला एकच फक्त याच्यामध्ये एकच हे फॉर्म्युला चूक आहे असं म्हणू शकाल काय? एका ठिकाणी चूक असतो हा फॉर्म्युला. कुठं कुठं? So we start, the question was determine the electric field intensity E because of infinite plane carrying charge with uniform surface charge and density rho s at distance r away from it. So it is rho s upon 2 epsilon naught. You go in room number 10, what will happen? It is room number 11 आहे ना. रूम नंबर 10 मध्ये या मधल्याला चार्ज आहे म्हणून रूम नंबर 10 ला कसं होईल? किती येईल चार्ज तिकडे? किती येईल इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड? ही सेम डिरेक्शन. आता इथं किती आहे? या साईडला आहे. तिकडं इकडे प्लस इज आहे, तिकडे मायनस इज आहे. आता ह्याच्यावरनं डू यू काही फार विचित्र परिस्थिती उद्भवेल असं काही आहे का? हे उत्तर चुकीचं असेल असं? इफ द पॉइंट इज इन द प्लेन तर काय होईल? what the answer would be? म्हणजे इट इज ए बिग डिस्कंटिन्युटी. म्हणजे आता हे वेन यू म्हणजे काही गोष्टी अशा आपल्या विचाराच्या पलीकडच्या असतात. आता ह्याचं उत्तर हे आता बघता येईल का मला? हे बघता येईल ह्याचं? हे सगळं फक्त कागदावरच आहे. म्हणजे इन्फायनाइट प्लेन असा काही युनिफॉर्म सरफेस चार्ज आणू शकत नाही चार्ज कुठला. पण कागदावर जरी असलं तरी देखील म्हणजे सर्किट थिअरीतलाच एक प्रश्न आहे, कदाचित विसरला असा. एक 2 व्होल्टचा आयडियल व्होल्टेज सोर्स एक घेतला आणि 3 व्होल्टचा घेतला. इथे गोल्ड लावलाय, इथे गोल्ड लावलाय. व्होल्टमीटर किती रीडिंग दाखवेल? हा किती दाखवेल? आणि ते स्विच आहे आणि स्विच क्लोज करतं काय होईल? काय होईल? काय होईल? What will happen if there is a constant voltage, so ideal constant voltage of 2 volts, ideal constant voltage of 3 volts, and if I close the switch, what will happen? I will. I will. नहीं? कुठला पण? काय होईल? हा एक्सपेरिमेंट करता येईल का? हा एक्सपेरिमेंट मांडता येईल, सेटअप करता येईल का? सेटअप करता येणार. मग intuition and imaginative capability of human individual has no limits. That is infinite. तर आता काय उत्तर याचं काय उत्तर याचं? Very interesting question. This can't be connected. म्हणजे हे जोडताच येणार नाही. म्हणजे काय होईल? समजा एक 2 स्ट्रॉंग मॅग्नेट आणले तुम्ही, असे मॅग्नेटचे हे असतात बघा, प्लेट्स, मॅग्नेटिक प्लेट अशी गोल डंबेल शेपचे मॅग्नेट आहेत 2, नॉर्थ साऊथ. ते घेतले डंबेल 2 आणि नॉर्थ टच करायला गेला तर काय होतंय? टच करताच येत नाही. तसं हा स्विच तुम्हाला क्लोज करताच येणार नाही. मग आता ह्याला काय मिनिंग? हे जे डिस्कशन आहे, हे डिस्कशन कशा लेवलचं आहे? तर this discussion talks about impossibility in hypothetical domain. हेच शक्य नाही आहे. दोन अशक्य अशा गोष्टी एका विशिष्ट प्रकारे, म्हणजे लॉजिक तुम्ही आता काही जर अभ्यास करत असाल, रिझनिंग किंवा तर कसं आहे, आता 2 अशक्य अशा गोष्टी